Hey everybody. So it's the abstractionist. I'm here with a new series. Look, let's go ahead and turn away from that. You don't need to see that shit. In the back, I've had coffee. That's probably why. I shouldn't have, because it's almost midnight. I'm gonna be tossing and turning, but I normally do that because I have a shit pillow. Try to get my life together. Anyway, so I wanted to do this video because I'm just gonna start incorporating herbalism into this, and we'll figure out where the fuck this content is gonna go in the future. But yeah, so essentially I'm going to go for it with herbalism. I'm going to go for it with body work, energetic work, stuff like that. I'm just gonna annoy the fuck out of it. It's like it's not even. I don't know. Anyway, I get distracted by the small things. But yeah, so I decided to go forward with herbalism and be like a medicine woman. But just like incorporate herbalism more into my like practices and things like that. And so yeah, that's basically what I'm thinking. So when it comes to this thing, one of the first things I want to do is make a medicine cabinet. So essentially an herbal medicine cabinet, because it's changing season soon, and the next really 2 weeks, really technically 10 days, the 20, yeah, within 10 days, it's going to be autumn here in the northern hemisphere. So I want to start going forward with the medicine cabinet, not necessarily because I'm anticipating needing it, but I am anticipating needing it, but not necessarily how everybody else sees it. So one of the first things that I want to establish as far as the medicine cabinet is what areas I tend to have the most issues with. And so when it comes to colder seasons, the main things that affect me are skin gets drier, hair gets drier. So skin for the body, hair, and then face gets drier. So that's where herbalism is going to go for me in that regard. And then outside of that, more respiratory things, so colds, bronchitis, stuff like that, just more respiratory things. Circulatory can go in there as well, and skeletal, but mostly circulatory when it comes to blood flow and getting your nutrients and stuff like that just flowing in your body. So those are the main areas that I'm looking for. So I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional. If you want to do this, take your own discernment, medical advice, I'm not a doctor. However, for me, knowing that I want to establish some sort of medical, holistic medicine cabinet, it's very important to figure out, like I said, why I want to do it and what areas are the most common issues for me. So in establishing that, it really helps me to move forward with what I want, because I can kind of narrow it down, right? In the colder months, I don't have a lot of issues. Usually it's just getting colds and having dry skin and hair and stuff like that. So I don't really have any real serious issues, and that's a great thing. I am a type 2 diabetic and stuff like that, and I take medicine for that, but it's really great that I don't need really serious medical interventions, holistic or otherwise. So that puts me at kind of an advantage, because I think that the things that I can look for are more store-bought, you know what I'm saying? More store-bought, and I don't have to necessarily find like exotic as shit type ingredients to figure it out. Most likely, what I'm going to do is look for very emollient oils, butters, fats for the skin and the hair, right? Because during the wintertime, I'm still going to keep my hair like this. I might get braids and twists, but like for the most part, it's still going to be out. So I gotta like protect that and make sure it's not drying out, you know. Another thing I'm considering is getting a humidifier for the home, because my room is kind of like above the kitchen, but it's like the hottest room and then it's like the coldest room, so like the heat and the air don't necessarily like reach me in the way that like it reaches other rooms. So like it's just like, okay, like it's so fucking cold, it's so fucking hot. So a humidifier is going to be one thing. And while I'm sleeping, I kind of feel like if I don't keep the windows open, which is something that like during the wintertime you're probably not going to do too much, like it's not going to be fully open, you know what I'm saying? Making sure that I have like some essential oil there that's helping to work on like decongestion, will really help, because I don't really want stuffy noses and stuff like that. Another thing, major thing with the circulatory, well, respiratory rather, would be more like antivirals. So no, rosemary is one, but I'm going to start looking into other antivirals. I don't know if banana or plantain, like an extract or something like that is one, but I do believe it is. So those are the main two that I'm going to be exploring. And so this is the beginning of like branching into herbalism. Like I have quite a few books that I've gotten from eBay, and now that I like am not in school, I'm not in school. Hold on, let's see. Okay. Like hopefully it doesn't like come, I don't think it will, but anyway, lost my train of thought. But yeah, so that's basically where I am. So I'm going to be exploring oils, fats, butters, antivirals, and I'll be exploring kind of like the effects that it has. I don't want to take like a bunch because I'm also going to be exploring like plant medicine. So I'm going to probably go back to my Damiana, however you want to pronounce it, because I want to do some more shadow work, and I just know that that shit's calling my name, so I'm going to do that. And for me, I know because I'm a type 2 diabetic, I had to be very aware of the interactions with the two medications that I take for that. So, you know, like I said, I'm not a doctor, but definitely advice as a person doing this would be to make sure that you're not on some medications that really you can't do a whole lot when it comes to interactions, because I mean, you want to be like healthy and alive, you know. So I would take that into consideration. So, oh, books. I will do a video on the books that I have for herbalism, and I will do another video about kind of like plant medicine and picking different plants, but it's based on like products that you use. I won't tell you which ones just yet. I'm gonna do another special spicy video. But yeah, so that is all I have to say about that. I'm kind of happy that I'm starting this journey because I don't know, like the amount of fulfillment that I get from like looking these things up, and it's just like immense. It gives me things to think about, and it gives me things to like just mull over and work on so I can personally do my release work. But it's like, it's just very interesting shit, and I think that I kind of am just like very interested in going down this path, because like if you had told me like 10-15 years ago that I would be, first of all, on YouTube, one, I would be like, what? But I had a YouTube channel years ago, when I was like 18, like 17, 18, and then I stopped it like sophomore year of college. But that I also would be like going into this field of work, I would really reject that. And so it's kind of cool, because I wasn't interested in health and healing and wellness and shit like that. I'm gonna be very honest. I'm gonna type 2 diabetic for a reason. But yeah, like, life has changed, and I'm very like happy about that. Like, even the thought of going natural is like very different. So I think on that spiritual path, usually health, wellness, mental health, you know, starts to come up. And I think I'm in a phase where that's starting to come up. And there's particular areas that, you know, people tend to have to work on. But yeah, like, this is where I am. So thank you for watching this first video, making a medicine cabinet, and kind of where I want to go with it. I'll probably do an abridged version, but this is what I'm thinking. This is where I'm at. And yeah, all right, bye.